The other day I got home from work to find that someone stole all the lamps in my house. I was delighted. Hey kids, Adam here. Today we are going to, in fact, it's still today. If you notice, I'm wearing the same shirt that I was wearing in the last video. If you haven't watched that, it's up here. It's my second pre-video to the mix course I'm going to do on recording bass with Dad. I found something in that video when I was going through it that I thought would make for a good tip, but I didn't want to put it and be kind of buried in that thing. That video is long enough as it is already. So I want to show you how to use takes in Reaper to get your perfect riff or solo or a little part to make sure it's perfectly recorded and sounds great. Let's head over to Reaper and we'll take a look. All right, this is the same project, the same setup that I had. In fact, it was last week, but it was also minutes ago. So I guess that's my secret. If I'm wearing the same shirt from the last video, I did it right afterwards, but then I could fool you by changing shirts. But then maybe I could fool you again by going back and wearing the same shirt for another video to make you think that I recorded then. Wait, where are we? Oh, so in this song, there was a spot in the in the final chorus, actually. The song is a very basic structure. It's, it's verse, chorus, and then we have a post-chorus as opposed to a pre-chorus, a bridge, a guitar solo, which goes over the post-chorus and then the chorus parts, and then a double chorus before we go out to the end. In the double chorus, I have a bass fill that I want to do, but I didn't do that in the original project for reasons, mostly because I thought of this video and I wanted to do it. So let's take a listen to that and then I'll kind of play what I was going to do. So right there, I want to do a something like that. But you'll notice I kind of screwed it up playing it. So I want to set myself up to be able to record this over and 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 over again until I get it perfect. And then we'll kind of show you how I can cheat a little bit at it. So what I found here is I want to take these two measures here and I want to re-record them, and I want to do some takes to loop it over and see how best I can get this to work. What I could do is I could start my cursor here. If I right click on my metronome here, I could do pre-roll before recording for 2 measures, and that it will start 2 measures before and not record there, but I want to do it for takes and looping through. If anyone knows how to do that in Reaper for every take, let me know. Until then, what I want to do is I'm going to there's a trick here. If you have things selected, you have items selected, you use Shift S, it will trim or split on either side of the thing, and I want to delete that out. I'm going to record this on a new track, so I'm going to unselect that for recording, select that for recording. It's only temporary, I don't have to color it, I guess. Then I'm going to select the whole selection here, but I'm only really caring about these 2 measures that are blank. What I'll do is I'll record, I'll get my take set up, I'll get the good recording, and then I will move them up. So we'll go back to the chorus here. Let me loop some takes and see if I can get a decent sounding recording. I probably won't, so I'm going to show you another trick and how to cheat on this. So this is the hard part to play in. When I play it live, I do some cheating things, but that's going to come through way too audible on the recordings. So we'll go, I think this last one was pretty good. And then if I just basically trim this back and move this up, maybe that take wasn't the greatest. We'll do take 2. That wasn't very good at either. So what I really need to do is I need to start. I need to just, instead of worrying about this slide, because that's another slide like before in the last video where I'm going across. This time I'm only going across 3 strings. That's not easy to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cheat when I do this. And I'm going to get the slide in there, and then I'm going to repeat doing the takes so I can start right on that note. I'll just record this whole section over. And that should be good enough. Turn the repeat button off for now. I think I got that right. All right, we can trim that down, move this up, and I'll just crossfade to get this sounding good. So I want to make the selection the entire thing, even though I'm only really caring about these 2 measures. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it on repeat. That way I don't have to like do one thing and then skip a take and wait for the next one. I can get the 2 measures in beforehand. I'm not going to really play through those because I'm just going to start with the, that note, and you'll see what happens here with the slide and everything. Let's go. So some of those might have been okay. Let's split this out here. Put it up here, listen to it. All right, we'll start with the take 1. So here's a trick. If you're trying to figure out how to get the cursor to stay in one place, but get your takes to move, you actually have to click on the item in order to get the take figured out. But every time you do that, it moves the cursor. Do this. Click on the item to get your take. Click up here to move the cursor instead of anywhere down here, and then it stays. Shift T moves takes downwards. T moves takes upwards. We'll just kind of listen to a couple of these. That was terrible. That was rushed. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete all this. I'm going to kind of cheat. And the whole purpose of this is to get a really good sounding recording. In the recording here, I want it tight on the drums. The tom fill he's doing 16th notes the same way I'm doing the fill. So let's worry about this getting it in parts, specifically for the recording. I don't recommend doing this when you're playing live because you can't get everyone to stop and restart. Whatever. Here we go. I think that last one sounded pretty good. Let's take and move this up here. Okay, so I got part of that right. And now I'm going to just zoom in here. And now we're only going to record the second half of this. I'm still going to do it on the same track and keep on dragging it up, but I'm only worried about the second half. I think the first half is fine, and I could get it better, but for the sake of this video, I think it's fine for now. Let's see how it is here. I think that one was pretty good. So I'll drag this all the way up to where I stopped. We can actually go one over. Let's see how this sounds. And I think that sounds pretty good. Now, I want to zoom in and do some crossovers so that this doesn't sound completely messed up on the way in, and especially on the way out, because I heard a pop. And see how this sounds. So I'm going to take just solo the bass here. Let's listen to it with the drums. So there we have it, how to cheat yourself. And it's really not cheating. I mean, I'm still playing all the notes. This is a riff that I wrote. I don't know why I keep writing riffs that I can't play, but I find this is a really good way to kind of brute force your way to a riff. It works really well on bass because bass is so easy to punch in and out. But if you have problems working on a riff, try this, see what you think. All right, so what do you think about this? Do you use this? Anyone who punches in a studio has done this before. Sometimes recording engineers frustrated. They say, oh, why don't you know your parts? I want to tell you, recording is a different world than playing live. And there are a lot of bands, especially if it's your first recording. I remember my first recording studio, I had no idea they could even punch in. I had no idea what I was expecting. I'd grown up playing classical music and kind of jazz and rock, but never actually recording something, you know, one-on-one with just me and the engineer. So it was pretty rough for me back in the millions of years ago when the year started with 19. That's another story. But for this, I think this is a really good way to get a riff sounding perfect. You can kind of go through and do it in one take and get it good. But if you really want to lock in with the drums and lock in with your band, I recommend doing this for all the riffs that you kind of struggle with, or even if they're just slightly out of time, I would rather re-record it than nudge or edit or move it around, get it right at the source and go on. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment down below. Until then, like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, have yourselves an amazing week. I don't remember what I said last. I've been talking to my friend Mike here to try to figure out if I can do what I want to do, but I don't think I can do what I want to do. So I do something different than what I want to do or something.